Personally, I love the idea of a flipped classroom. I have known about this idea of teaching for a while, and I think that it can really benefit students by changing the way of teaching and learning. I used to be that student in class that would daydream for a minute, and I would lose track of the teacher's lesson, and sometimes I would even miss the main point. This often affected my grades and even made a negative impact on my overall GPA. I think the flipped classroom will bring a great advantage to those students who are like me because they can pause and rewind the video, so they'll never have that excuse of daydreaming again. Students can take all the time that they need to pause and rewind and fast forward the video so they can really grasp the whole idea of the lesson. This is the first point that stood out to me while reading about the supporting ideas of a flipped classroom. I got it from the article, 7 Things You Should Know About a Flipped Classroom. They say that devoting class time to application of concepts might give instructors a better opportunity to detect errors in thinking, particularly those who are widespread in the class. This stood out to me because, like I had said before, I was one of those students that had many errors and setbacks and just sort of slid by. With having the students watch the video at home, then perhaps, for example, take a quiz, teachers can assess exactly where each student stands in comprehending the lesson. This leads me to my next point, that the flip model puts more of the responsibility of learning on the shoulders of students while giving them greater impetus to experiment. Students should really learn at a younger age how to take responsibility for schooling because sooner or later they're going to have to. I found all of these ideas from the article 7 Things You Should Know About a Flipped Classroom. And also the negative aspects of the flipped classroom are that students are limited to internet access. Not a lot of kids have a computer or even internet at home. So the fact that we expect students to actually watch the video at home is another negative aspect. Also, introducing a flip can mean additional work and may require new skills for the instructor. All of these things would need to be worked out in order for a flipped classroom to be successful. Not to mention, we would need multiple tools for this to work. Each student would have to have access to a computer and YouTube at home. We would need to have a program like Moodle so that everyone can touch base and keep up to date with everything together. Byron High School has actually implemented the flip approach, and in their article they mentioned that YouTube was blocked and that they needed to unblock it for this to work. Most schools have it blocked because of inappropriate things on it. However, they do kind of dodge that aspect by embedding their videos rather than linking it, which we have learned in this classroom. Byron High School is actually a great model to see exactly how the theoretical and practical ideas of the flipped classroom connect. It's actually working, and they have actually risen test scores, and they have won many awards for being a great school. They were listed as a national blue ribbon school. Overall, the article 7 Things to Know About Flipped Classroom was definitely the best source for my insights. They gave a great scenario and put the idea into context, and then they also listed 7 concepts that we should know about while considering a flipped classroom. I would recommend to read it before anyone considers to do a flip.